Okay, well, hi everybody, it's Mark here. What I'm going to do is provide you with a quick walkthrough of the topic booklet, the syllabus for the course Aedt 5800 Instructional Leadership. I'm using, just for your information, Zoom conferencing. I'm just simply recording and sharing my screen, a very quick, very easy way to actually create a quick asset to use online, which is super. So this is the topic booklet. It's been embedded as a Word document online and shared with you. It's a credit of 3 hours, operating in the full quarter, and we've got a start date and a conclusion date there. I am your instructor and delighted to be your instructor. The best place to get in contact with me is through my work email address, which is listed just here. You're, of course, quite welcome to text me if you need to do that too. The Department Chair, Leadership and Professional Studies is the fabulous Dr. Bill O'Connor, and his details are there. The course description provides that high-level overview. The course will review current understandings of the roles and responsibilities of instructional leaders who have a shared responsibility for policies, programs and practices, particularly in the post-secondary area. Course members, participants, are going to examine what instructional leadership looks like through literature and also through workplace investigation. And from this, we'll make conclusions, and we'll co-construct a working definition of the kinds of organisational conditions within which instructional leadership practices flourish. During this 10-week course, you'll have an opportunity to explore the knowledge, the interpersonal skills, the technical skills, and the cultural tasks that appear to be required for successful instructional design, implementation, assessment, and evaluation. This is a course around instructional leadership and not instructional design, although that at times is indeed a slippery slope depending upon the context that you're within. The course will provide a focus on leadership strategies for effective faculty engagement in instructional development. Moving on, you'll find a contents list which you can refer back to this topic booklet at any time you wish. I would recommend that you do frequently drop back. Intentionally, what I have done is taken pieces out of the topic booklet and I've embedded them into the coursework in Canvas. So you are constantly being reminded, if you like, around the broad aims of the program as represented in the topic booklet, the topics being covered, and the intended outcomes for engaging in this course. So on purpose, the topic booklet is reflected into the coursework itself. You'll find a warm and friendly welcome. The reason I'm talking through this isn't just enjoying the sound of my voice, but when we engage in learning, the universal design of learning allows for multiple modes of showing and engaging with content. So I recognise somebody might be actually listening to this on a mobile device. Many labels used in literature signify different styles of leadership. And certainly it could be described as, leadership by adjective, instructional leadership, relational leadership, you name it. Sometimes these can mask the functions of leadership and leading. Across this course, you'll have a chance to examine, to construct and maybe deconstruct your interpretation of what it means to be an instructional leader. There are a number of models which we will have a look at, well-developed models, well-accepted models which carry the title of instructional leadership, and they provide examples of the kinds of technical and cultural behaviours associated with being an instructional leader. And we'll go into those in one of the early topics. I'm encouraging you to displace some of the sloganistic users of the term instructional leadership. Not to dispense with them, this is what the course is about, but to also keep a critical viewpoint that there are alternative positions around and criticisms also levelled at some of the approaches in some organisations and systems around instructional leadership, which we'll have a look at more in one of the early topics. So there's some instructional information for you. All of the work is offered through the learner management platform Canvas. There's some information for you around the workload. One of the suggestions certainly is that that you spread out your workload across a week. So try to avoid binge working on a Sunday afternoon. The best thing to do is to actually structure your engagement with the relative activities across a week period. So you're constantly dipping in and engaging and being immersed in the content through reading, responding, through the viewing activities, and obviously the work leading up to the two major assignments. There's a number of discussion board activities. What I have done is placed due dates within the system, even though they're not graded assignments as such, and that will pop up in your calendar and allow you to better manage your time. There's some information in here around online learning norms and expectations of how we'll engage with one another through communications, through messaging. Sometimes we may use a live session. We have a couple of Zoom conference sessions with guest speakers, and they'll be recorded, recognising that for some people, the reason they're engaging in a wholly online program is because they have limitations and restrictions to do with time. Our course goals: develop system-level knowledge of instructional design, the implementation, assessment and evaluation processes, as much as can happen in 10 weeks. Analyse those leadership roles and responsibilities for effective instructional programs. Examine current trends and explore those strategies that work. The learning outcomes, so at the end of this topic, you should be able to demonstrate knowledge of models of instructional leadership and consider those and their implications for learning design. You should be able to identify and describe the tensions and opportunities that exist between the various stakeholders engaged in the design and delivery of professional learning in adult learning contexts. You should be able to analyse and share, so I'm just checking, okay, analyse and evaluate improvements for curriculum design and describe and justify the choices made with a focus on learning that delivers those adaptive capabilities often referred to as 21st century learning design. Our topics are just here. So we've got one on leadership and instruction with adult learning focus, curriculum design and development for adult learners, skills and knowledge for cultural and technical tasks, influences, and how to build a high involvement innovation culture within organisations. How we're going to do this within this course is mostly using Canvas. So our 10 modules are organised within the Canvas learning environment with activities designed within there. You'll find some assigned readings. You'll be engaged in case studies. There's lots of forum discussion and topic reflection, and there will be a couple of live events. This course is aligned with the Ignatian pedagogical paradigm, which seeks to place learning within context, to be experiential, to provide intentional time for reflection, taking action, and opportunity to evaluate. Your written tasks, that are the 2 assignments, need to comply with the American Psychological Association guidelines. There's information on that within Canvas. We will do a deep dive in one of the early sessions into assignment 1, but just as a snapshot, it is an essay. It's a written assignment between 2,000 and 2,500 words, and that is its due date. It has a 40% weighting. Assignment 2 has 30%. It's a case study with presentation. It's due at the end of the topic. And the last component is around your engagement within the online activities which are set each week. So these are mandatory, and I'm just developing a rubric at the moment to help you with your asynchronous discussion participation, so you know what that looks and feels like. There's more information about assignment 1 and assignment 2, and information about your online engagement. You'll find some general information in the topic booklet around extensions, points to consider when writing an assignment in an essay format, and that's repeated in Canvas for you at the appropriate point in time. And what I've included at the bottom are the key dates for semester 1, running you through the pre-session through to week 1, 2, 3, and so on. You'll notice that I've placed a theme for each one. So the nature of learning, adult and teacher learners, cognitive and non-cognitive skill development, supervision and instructional leadership, curriculum development, curriculum construction, action research and appreciative inquiry, cultural tasks of instructional leaders, and interpersonal skills and micro-political literacy. You'll notice that there's a very similar structure following each of the modules presented. A welcome, we situate the learning within the broader course, provide an inspiration and reflection activity, a review of week 10, there'll be readings and response, you'll have some input session in lecture style, there'll be preparation for the following week, there's always a poll which is available to collect feedback from you to help shape the course. The suggested readings are located down at the bottom of this list, and again, this is the total list of suggested readings, and what I've done is I've taken, if you like, the readings out where they're appropriate, and you'll find those referenced within Canvas. But certainly you are more than happy for people to work through those, to track them down. I'm happy for people to identify and suggest additional readings that might be appropriate. And certainly there are readings not represented in this list at the moment, which you will find referred to in Canvas. There are 2 important student academic resources to draw your attention to. They're listed here and here. There's if you haven't undertaken the academic integrity tutorial, it would be highly recommended that you engage with that. There's an important notice for students concerning any form of impairment or disability, and the appropriate person who would be your point of contact regarding any issues experienced there. So this part of the document contains your go-to places. And that brings us to the bottom of the topic booklet. So feel free to review this recording, and certainly you can download a hard copy or a local PDF copy of the topic booklet from the link that you'll find under the embedded version, which is sitting within Canvas. Thank you.